Hi, I'm Masli Noack, and today for Estonians in Australia, I'll be speaking to renowned Estonian clown, Julia Masli.
Hi, Anthony.
Welcome to Melbourne.
Thank you.
What are your first impressions of the city?
That it's very similar to all the big cities, like to London, and like it's a big city. It's but it's warmer, and people have a different accent here that I'm like trying to figure out. I have to really focus to understand anything. But yeah, it's great.
And you have a show at the Comedy Festival. What's it called?
It's called Ha 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 Ha.
7 Ha?
Yes, very important.
Why is that the right amount?
It's just the 7 it's the lucky number for me. I don't, it's just right.
And it's a clowning show?
Yes.
What is a clown in 2024?
I have no idea. I just started saying that it's a clown show because people started saying that it's a clown show. I think it has other elements like theater, performance art, comedy. Not comedy though.
Do you see yourself as a funny person?
Yeah, that's a hard question. I don't think I see myself like that. I find myself, but I like to play and have fun. Yeah, fun is jokes I don't good at, not good.
Are you happy to have this show in a comedy festival?
It's really cool. Yeah, I am, but I'm also a little bit like they didn't understand that it's a serious show, so I'm like I'm happy to be here but it is serious, I'm dealing with problems.
You're trying to solve people's problems. What made you decide to do that?
Yeah, it was really simple. Like I think I just one day, I think it was, I just really liked the idea of these people who help, and I always obsess over them. Like, I'm quite fascinated by just anyone who helps in the world, like either healers or doctors or like anyone, therapists. I'm always like, who are these people? What do they do? Like, and then I just thought, oh, I'm gonna point my leg at someone and say problem. So I booked this. I have a leg with a microphone attached to my. It makes no sense. I'm sorry. But yeah, I went to a gig and I just did that to someone. I thought I'll try it, and then I noticed that people started opening up a lot to me, like. Or saying something really ridiculous because they panic and then they say something. And I just thought, oh, there's a lot in here. There's a lot of, like, I don't need to do much in a way. The people give quite a lot, and it's really interesting. So it just grew from there.
How did you find asking Australian audiences about their problems?
It was like both me and Lily, who's taking sound, we were like, this is like for us, like this show, we will just discover what Australians are like because we don't know. Like, I found like great in a way. They're very forward. They're like, this is what it is, and it's nice. It's refreshing. They're not. Sometimes with British people, they're a bit more. They're confused. They're like, they're more confused, but they're very like, this is it. More specific about their problem.
In your previous show I saw at the Edinburgh Festival, it was Chush.
You saw that?
Yes, loved it. You played a migrant Eastern European man. What does being Eastern European mean to you?
It's very confusing moment to be Eastern European. I guess it means that I'm a mix of many different things because of history. Like, my family moved around all the time, and then we ended up in Estonia, and it's a confusing moment, like, to be from, like, and now I'm Estonian, but we moved from many places there, and now what's going on in the world it's very confusing identity-wise, like who you are, where you're from. But yeah, born in Estonia and really happy to be from there.
After being away for so long from Estonia, does it still feel like home?
Yeah, it's like, it's always such a, when I get to the Estonian airport, I feel it, my whole nervous system just relaxes. It's the best airport in the world. Have you been?
I haven't. I think I came in via ship from Finland.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's cool as well.
Yeah.
But the airport is just so cozy. Like I feel really at home in the airport there, yeah. It definitely feels like home, everything. It's childhood, you know? It's like the most special time, like up until you're 12, before the teenager where all the like self-conscious, all the difficult stuff comes. It's the best time for sure, like being kids. So I always remember that, and it's nice.
And where were you born in Estonia?
In Tallinn, and lived until I was 12 in Tallinn.
And what are your earliest memories of growing up?
Ooh, I remember we lived in those flats that are all the same, and I remember I used to go to an Estonian kindergarten, and I fell in love with an Estonian boy called Kasper, and we used to dance in the kindergarten, and we really wanted to hang out. And then he left the kindergarten, and we were both really sad. He had to move. And then I went to like a ballet school for 1 year, and then it closed down and went bankrupt, which was also really sad. So I had to go to like a normal school, and that was more boring because it was more academic.
And how old were you when you went to London?
I was 12.
And did you speak English at the time?
Like, I thought that I did, but when I got there, I didn't understand anything.
How did you get by?
By like miming and a lot of hand gestures.
Is that what sparked your interest in your craft now?
I think it just, because I really wanted to do, like I always wanted to do the drama or be in the school play, but I had a really difficulty speaking yet. And then, yeah, they always cast me as something that doesn't speak but does a lot of movement. Or has a really strong accent or something. And then, yeah, I think my drama teachers were always like, mime, you should do mime. Yeah.
Where did you go on to study acting?
So I went to clown school in France called Gores, where I really just went there because there was no auditions and you didn't have to speak perfect English. They were like, you can go there. But then I fell in love with it and stayed on and really loved it. Yeah.
That was with Philippe Gollier?
Yeah.
What was Philippe's opinion of Estonians?
He said we're really boring. We're really boring because we're from a cold, grey country. But he was very excited. He was like, ooh, I've never had this in Estonian. I was the first Estonian, so I felt really like, oh my God, I have to represent, Estonians. So he told me I remember when I was he's notoriously known for being very brutal, but in a loving, funny way. And I remember once I was on stage, he was like, oh, so boring, so boring. And then he was like, this weekend, you have to take a bath in vodka. And like, you have to be crazy. You have to, do something crazy. You're too nice. You're too nice. Like, go. Yeah, it was I didn't do it, but now in my show, I kind of tell people or we do some crazy things in a way similar to this vodka bath. It's like, wake up.
Do you feel like you proved his opinion of Estonians wrong?
I really hope so. I really hope so. But he always was curious. He was like, how is it? Yeah, I hope so.
Would you do a funny show with a tragic ending, or does comedy have to stick to form?
I love tragedy. Like, I would actually love to do. That's a good idea. Maybe the next one, like really tragic end. I'm really interested in tragedy. I think they're very close together, and I think if you can make people laugh, then maybe it's easier to make them also feel something because they're open, right? So I love it. Tragedy is interesting to me.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of interesting Eastern European clowning. Is there a difference in your mind between Eastern clowns and Western clowns?
Actually, I was just talking to Meg, who I was walking here with, about Piotr, the Polish clown, who's here. I don't know if you see.
I saw a show, Furioso.
Yeah. But did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah, me too. Like, it has a tragic ending. I think that's the difference. It's like, and you were like, whoa, but it's so. Oh, I love him. Yeah, he's wonderful, isn't he?
Yeah. What do you think caused there to be maybe a more tragic aspect to clowning amongst Eastern European clowns?
Well, I think it's just a dark history, you know, and it's always the humor has been more like, it can be a bit brutal, the humor. And even like the films that you watch are a lot more like darker. So I think it makes sense for it to be like that. And I loved seeing Piotr because I was like, oh, that's what, you know, yeah, I just saw, like you said, Eastern European clown. It's like there's something different. It is different. There's maybe it a bit more plays on the emotion, I think, maybe. And maybe the Western is more nonsense, which is so joyous. And then there it's a bit more, there's a bit some emotion underneath. Yeah.
Do you feel you have to adhere to that dark tradition?
No, I think, well, I only really did that in Chuj, where I don't know, you know, it's like, I guess it was slightly more, like it was based on my grandfather a little bit, so it was a little bit autobiographical, so I was kind of, but I'm also, my identity is a difficult thing for me, like it's hard to understand exactly that, because I moved around so much and my family moved around. But yeah, I think I'm getting past that. I'm a bit like, it doesn't matter. I'm just whatever. I don't know who I am, and that's okay. I don't need to know. It's fine. Yeah.
Well, it works.
Thank you.
For people and performers born past the dissolution of the USSR, does that history still resonate and affect their work and outlook?
I think, yeah, because our parents are still, you know, our parents grew up in that. So I guess because of them, we are maybe affected a little bit. And I guess, you know, the country itself, it has these, it has this, like the West meets a bit of the Soviet, and it's like kind of, and we're all navigating like how to move forward. And like, I think there is an element of it, but hopefully we're kind of taking it and we're like, let's move forward and just, this is what happened and what's like the way forward, rather than staying in that like, being very like, we're like this or we're like this. It's like, no, we're all here and let's just make a better future together. Yeah.
Well, now to finish up, what do you want to most do while you're in Melbourne?
I would love to see shows, and especially things that I can't see in London here. And I'm actually going to the zoo, it's real, on Sunday with audience members, hopefully, anxious audience members who I'm inviting. So anyone who has a problem with anxiety, if they tell me during the show, I invite them to the zoo. So in London, we did laser tag with heartbroken people, and that was really fun. So I'm really excited to see Melbourne Zoo.
And where are you off to after Melbourne?
I am off to New York for 4 weeks with the show. So excited about it.
Is that the first time you performed in New York?
Yes. Very scary. And also interesting because I feel like all the, you know, in New Yorkers must be very different audiences to Australians. It will be interesting to see what problems they will share.
Well, thanks so much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Best of luck with the rest of your season and enjoy Melbourne and the zoo.
Yes, thank you. Nice to talk to you, Anthony.